First frost of the year. Yeah, it's chilly this morning. We're going to get out today. I ordered a new muffler for the farm tractor. Some of you may have watched the past episode. The last time I used it, it seemed like it was struggling. I think chipmunks or something have built a nest or something in the pipe. It has a hissing sound from the muffler, and so I think the muffler's obstructed. In the past, I took it off and tried to clean it. Nothing come out, but that don't mean there's not an issue with it. But later on in the day, I'm gonna try to get that muffler changed out and finish up the final drives on the excavator. But it's probably 9 o'clock in the morning and still 40 degrees or so, so I'll wait a little while. All right, I'm gonna let the tractor warm up for a few minutes, and then I'm going to pull this exhaust muffler. We'll see how this goes. All right, 13 millimeters. The interesting thing is going to be if I can get these out. In a past episode, not long ago, I put a new gasket on here when I took this thing off to see if I could get it unstopped. So hopefully, yeah. All right, so all the bolts are coming out. I'll try to stay out of the way so y'all can see what I'm doing. So there's just 4 bolts in a gasket. I noticed this morning that one of my wheel cylinders, or wheel seals on the left side may be leaking pretty good. I gotta figure that out. All right, let's see. Let's pull this. See if I can get this to work out with just a extension. It's kind of in a tight spot. Really should have had a swivel to put on my socket. This thing was at a little bit of an angle. I always try to put bolts back in the same holes. I'm just kind of OCD about that kind of stuff. I also noticed this morning that I probably need to tighten up my fan belt. Alright, I gotta try to keep my gasket from falling. So it's gonna stay there. This muffler's a little bit warm because it's been running, but you can hear like some stuff moving around in it. Sounds kind of like sand. So I don't know if that's rust that's kind of stopped it up or what. All right, here's the new muffler. And I ordered this off eBay. And I believe it come out of Montgomery, Alabama. Didn't take long to get here. I think it was 3 or 4 days max from the time I ordered it. So get all these bolts started back, and we'll see if this thing sounds a little bit better. I don't know if people that own these Yanmar 1700s, I don't know if you realize it, but if you go back, one of my most popular videos on the Yanmar was the one where I was talking about they don't have a water pump. So I was bush hogging several years ago in some real tall stuff, clogged up my screen on my radiator, and I overheated it and melted the O-rings on the piston cylinders, got water in my oil. So I took it to one of my buddies that's a mechanic, and in the process of that, we were doing some research, and they have a kit where you can put I think it's a 2200 Yanmar water pump on these things. I don't really understand how the thing worked with no water pump, but it did. So anyway, we put the water pump on it, and I had him to put me a temperature gauge on it so I could try to prevent that type of stuff from happening again. And last time I used it, it got around 190. I don't like to let it get over that, so that's the reason why I went ahead and decided that I needed to change this muffler. I don't know if it picked up in the video I took earlier, right next to the muffler when I was letting it run, it has like a hissing sound. It just don't sound right. Don't want to tighten these too tight. All right. All right, let me grab the top part of this. This muffler is, I don't know if it's an aftermarket, probably is, but it's the same exact design that was on it. So this knife not cutting this very well. Yeah, this is made in China, but it came from Montgomery, Alabama. It's got a sticker and it's made in China. But these are Japanese tractors, so there's no telling originally where all the parts for these things are built. But it comes with the pipe and the clamp, complete kit. I think I paid $117 for this. You can buy some on there that are on eBay. They're like 50 bucks. Different style. I didn't know if the offset on it to come out and clear the hood was going to be exactly right and all that, so I didn't want to go through all that, so I went ahead and ordered sounds like a old warbird flying. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, it looks like a steerman. Alright, let's see if they did me right. Nope. Not the same size. Let's try a 14. And I'm probably going to have to go with a 14 deep well. Let's see if I have a 14 deep well. Look at there. Well, go figure. Oh, I just grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed one that's a 1/4 inch drive instead of a 3/8. All right. Let's see. says this is a 1 3/4 inch clamp. All right, it feels good and tight. Let me get back on this thing and see if it fired up and see if it sounds different. Sounds much better. I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes. All right, let's take this thing down in the pasture and run it for a few minutes and see how it does. It did. Oil pressure, somewhere around 35 to 40, stay consistent. And it's cool out here this morning, so the temperature never got above 130. I haven't run it that long, but if it was summertime, I was out here running it, it'd already be up to 180. But anyway, it seems like that may have been my issue, that the muffler was restricting the flow of the engine and not letting it make the power it needs to make. But running good. All right, got everything set up, hopefully. All right, I got to pull these 3 plugs on the final drive. To drain the gear oil, and I've got some gear oil here that I will put in it. This should be a pretty quick process. All right, that's the top one. I've come out here and made sure all these were loose, so I didn't get out here and have an issue with getting one of these out. So I made sure they were loosened up properly. All right, so you fill it in the top, and when it's full, it'll run out. So I just pulled the middle plug and it's slightly running out. So that tells me that this final drive was properly serviced. So I think this thing holds about 1 quart, but we shall see. Don't know if this old pot will hold it all, but I got the trusty drain pan here, and we will dump it in there if I have to, and I'll put the plug back in. All right, I'll bring you back whenever I get this thing drained. All right, it's still dripping a little bit. I'm gonna start putting the plugs back in. I'm gonna start at the top. Actually, I'm not gonna start at the top because I need that one out. Start at the middle. Nope, take that back. All I gotta do is put the bottom plug in. So, let's see. Let me see if I can wipe some of this out. I'm probably going to run this winter and then turn around and change this gear oil again in the spring and get this flushed out pretty good. I don't know how long it's been since it's been changed. I should have changed this a long time ago, but I haven't, so it's all me. Okay. I had an old bottle, had a little bit of gear oil in it, and I dumped it out. All right, so here we go. Let's make this thing prime. Here we go. I have to put this in here slower. Kind of making a mess. Pump it in there slowly. And we're looking for it to come out in the center. So it should start running out here in a minute. So we shall see. Make sure that I wasn't overflowing it at the top. May have gotten pumped it a little too quick. Those gears are pretty close right here, so you're going to have to be patient if you do this, because the final drive is, the gears are really close to the looks like maybe a half a quart or so come out of this thing. Yeah, I want to keep everyone watching live, and that way you'll know how long it takes to pump slowly back into this final drive and get it serviced up. me wipe this and make sure when it starts coming out that it's coming out at the right place and not running down the front. Getting a little bit of seepage from the top, so I just got to go slow. Looks like I'm getting close. Let's see. Wipe this off real good for a second. Alright, it looks like we're starting to run out of the middle. Alright, so it looks like we got it serviced to the proper level. All right, I'm gonna have to set this to where this hose stays up so I don't make a mess. Okay. Double check the bottom. Make sure, okay, it's tight. Snugged up the middle. Okay. All right, let me wipe these off, and this side will be good to go. All right. Well, that's how you do it. I'm not going to show you the other side. The other side's the same thing. It's just, I'll have to back it up, get them lined up vertically, and get the other side drained. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Been a pretty good productive day here on the farm. Got the muffler changed out on the Yanmar 1700. Got the final drive gear oil changed out on the CAT303. I want to thank everyone for watching. Remember, if you like our content, subscribe, share it with your friends. We'll see you on the next one.